Hi, back to making how-to videos for the Occupy Neighborhood Democracy Project. This is a project in Minneapolis aimed at creating local neighborhood forums, and with the website, we're hoping to engage local citizens. And one of the ways we hope people can get interested in participating is by creating blog posts. And so in this video I'm going to show you how to create a blog post and how all the features work and how sharing works, and hopefully at the end of it you'll know how to create your own blog posts. So once you're logged in, you'll see this create blog post in the header, and when you go there you'll see this little form here, and this is everything you need to add a blog post. So you can add your title, choose the thumbnail image. This is the file manager. You can browse for a single image or you can upload multiple images. Browse for the files here. You can also add remote files. If you have a file already uploaded to Instagram or Flickr or somewhere else and you want to import it, really it's probably better if you link to remote files rather than importing them. We have a limited amount of file space. Also, with uploading files, please don't upload just the full super high resolution, like resize it to be web resolution before uploading if possible. That'll help us keep file size down on the server and hopefully, keep us from running out of space on the donated server from Hutman. So you can choose your file for the thumbnail image. You can choose to hide the thumbnail from the blog list. So when you're looking at a neighborhood page, or when you're looking at the home page, or when you're looking at one of your user blog pages, they show thumbnail images. Now if you've embedded a video or something in the content of your blog post, you may not want to have the thumbnail showing because the thumbnail is going to take up space on the list view, and I can show you that in a little bit here. So this will hide the thumbnail from that list. Otherwise, the thumbnail is used when the blog post is shared to social media such as Facebook and Google+. So if you want to specify what image goes there, you would just pick the thumbnail image. Otherwise, it'll show the Occupied logo from the header. Blog description is used by the calendars in the lightbox when you click on an event date. Otherwise, that's not really used. It's used for search engine. It's used for search engines. It's also used for sharing. When you share the item to social media, this is what's going to show up in the preview on Facebook and the preview on Google+. You can set a public date time. If you set a date in the future here, it will only show up on your own user blog. In order to view your blog, you can visit from the footer here. I'm going to keep it published for today. You can choose if it's going to be a draft copy. If it's a draft copy, it will only show up on your own user blog when you are logged in, so only you will be able to see that post and then edit it. Tags and categories both work pretty much the same. They're autocomplete fields, so you start typing and it pulls up. And then this is how you choose where the blog post is going to show up. If you choose share with all, it's going to show up on the blog on the home page. If you choose share with me only, it will only show up on your own personal blog. If you say share with selected neighborhood, it will show up on that neighborhood blog and that neighborhood calendar. And then if you've picked a neighborhood, you can choose which neighborhood to share with here. So if your post is about Seward, you'd share it with Seward. You can include it on the calendar. This will make it show up on the main homepage calendar and also on the different location calendars if you're sharing it with the location. This is separate from the date that the post is public, so you can make the post public on the 6th like we're doing now, and you could say, well, the event is actually on the 20th in 2 weeks, and it runs from 1 o'clock p.m. to 3 o'clock p.m. That's the date that it's going to show up on the calendar. The reoccurring count is the number of times past the first event that it's going to show up. So if you want to show up 4 times, you would put 3 here. So it shows up once and then it reoccurs 3 times. The reoccurring day interval is a numeric number of days that you want between each event. So if it's every week, you'd put 7. If it's every 2 weeks, you'd put 14. It doesn't support doing things like 3rd Thursday of the month or 2nd Tuesday, anything like that. You can also specify that it's an all-day item, and that will put it over the course of the entire day. This here is where you add your blog content, and there's one thing that you're going to notice that I did here that is kind of a bug, and there's not much that I can do about it 'cause it's just the way that the content management system works. But since I picked a thumbnail image, now when I choose an image for the text editor, the content doesn't show up anymore. To get past this, you can save it as a draft, hit add blog entry, and then just edit the post again. And then you can add the image. Then you can edit the image here, edit the portions and vertical space and horizontal space. This is a pretty standard TinyMCE editor. We're not going to add an image. What I want to do is show you adding a YouTube video. For YouTube and Vimeo and a few other services, and I'm hoping to add more, like Flickr's working, YouTube, Vimeo, I forget what other services, but if you just add a link like that on its own line, then it will automatically get converted into a YouTube video or a Vimeo video or whatever the embed is. If you want to have a read more on your blog and put stuff past the jump, just use that little button there and put in a page break. You can only do 1 per page. Don't add 2 of these to the site. It won't do anything special or give you pagination on the blog post. It will just break things, so only add 1 page break. You can see there is our YouTube video pulled in automatically. If we come over here to Seward, we should see our blog post. And this is what I was mentioning about the thumbnail image. Because we got the thumbnail eating up the space on the side here, now there's only a limited amount of space for the actual post itself. So if we just go ahead and edit this post, sorry, I guess you can't actually edit the post from the neighborhood. You should do all editing from your own blog. There we go. So if we just click hide thumbnail, now when we go back and look at our blog, the thumbnail is gone and we just have the post, and here we have our read more. And then that's got everything. You can see our post is here on the calendar. And that's all the more there is to it. I'll work on coming up with a way to suppress the edit link, but you should do all editing from your own user blog. So to get to your user blog, again, that's just in the footer, view your blog, and this will list off all of your posts.